So one of the things that I really like about this light is that, oddly, really? Can't hire good help these days. Hey guys, the folks at Lutec reached out to me and asked me to do a review of their new 9000 lumen work light, the Lutec 6290 Pro. I just want to state up front that Lutec did provide this light for me to keep, but that doesn't have any influence on my opinion. What you're going to get from me here is a fair and honest review of the product. Lutec did ask me to pass along to you that they are offering a discount code for this light that is valid until September 14th, 2020. If you use that code at purchase, you will save $30. There's going to be a link in the description below, and if you buy through that link, it will help this channel out. So it's a pretty simple unboxing. We get a customer satisfaction card, specification paperwork, and the light itself. Which feels pretty solidly constructed. It is made of mostly a pretty beefy aluminum and feels overall very well constructed. There's not much else to say about it now, so I'm going to wait until it gets dark and take it outside to test it out. Alright, so I'm outside now. It is pitch black out here. We have a street light out at the corner, but it's not really casting any light here whatsoever. So I'm going to give this a real-world practical test. I'm recording this with my GoPro, which GoPros are not known for being able to handle low light situations very well at night. And what I have right now is the GoPro is pointed at my car's engine. I have the hood popped, and it looks like everything is just pretty much pitch black right now. What I'm going to do is turn the light on and give you a real-world practical example of how this light could be used. And I'm hitting the on switch right now. This is literally the first time I've turned this light on. Ooh. Oh, that's bright. Okay, so as you can see, it's lit things up very well. I would say that, you know, in a nighttime working scenario, in a place where you have no other light, this would provide plenty of light for me to be able to do any kind of work on this engine that I would need to do. And yeah, this is, I don't know if it's going to make a difference if I move these lights around and adjust them. But we have a pretty full range of movement on how this is done. So it's probably going to blind the GoPro, but I'm going to point it more over here so you can see what's actually going on here. I don't know how well this video is going to come out, but as we can see here, I've got up and down, and then I've got some tilt action with this, and of course it telescopes so I can get closer in there and do that kind of stuff as well. So I think that's a pretty good, accurate representation of how this thing is going to work out at night. Like I said, I have like no lighting out here whatsoever. I've got a security light off to the left, but I've got it turned off right now. So that is basically what you're going to see when you turn this on at night. I think it's a pretty good representation of a real world working scenario, and this actually is a pretty awesome light. So one of the things that I really like about this light is it's both heavy enough and light enough at the same time. Basically, it is heavy enough that it's not going to just blow away in a strong wind. This thing is actually made of a really heavy-duty aluminum, which surprised me because from the pictures, based on just kind of how colorful this was, I guess my mind assumed that it was going to be made of like a lighter weight plastic. But no, this thing is a pretty tough aluminum. It'll take a beating, and I really like that it's got these handles up here, and so when you're done with it, you can hang it in your garage on a hook or whatever. And it's also got this carrying handle here, and like I said, it's got some weight to it. It weighs about maybe 10-15 pounds. I don't actually have the stats in front of me, so I'll throw up the exact weight on the screen at this point. But yeah, this thing is Really nice light. And the other really obvious thing that I love about this light is that it sets up very quickly. It's got this lock right here, and then the legs just basically pop down. You lock it back in place and you can set it up very easily. And it's got another lock right here that you can telescope the top up as well. And I am about 5 feet 10 inches tall. So I would say that that puts this at about 6 feet tall here. And then your lights, of course, just open up like this. And you've got a range of movement this way, that way. So the cord itself is about, let's see. So I'd say the cord is about 6 feet long. So unless you're working close to an outlet, you are probably going to need an extension cord when you use this. I've got one run out here right now. I'm going to plug this in, turn it on. It is a super bright sunny day out today, so you're probably not going to really see how bright these lights are when I turn them on. But basically that's what you're looking at. Now, one of the big key selling points that Lutec claims with this is that it is a waterproof light. So I'm going to put that to the test right now. Seems to be holding up fairly well. I'm hitting it with a pretty good amount of pressure here, and it's not getting knocked over, so that's a pretty well-built tripod that it sets on as well. I feel like spraying a work light with a water hose is such a hillbilly thing to do. I feel like the only thing I'm missing at this point is a cigarette hanging out of my mouth and a can of Busch Light. Passes my tests. Okay, so one thing I just noticed with tearing this down after I sprayed it down with the hose, and such a minor issue because this thing is probably never going to get this wet, but if you ever do get the thing wet and you go to tear it down, what I've noticed here is that water can get down in this seal right here and form a vacuum, and it makes it a little bit harder for the thing to be collapsed and torn down. And so right at about this point, I just had to kind of shake it a little bit to get the extra water out to get it to go down easily. Not a super huge deal. What I probably am going to do when I put this thing away, I'm just going to leave this extended so that this can all dry out, and it can dry out from the inside as well. So yeah, as this thing lowers on its own, I can hear some of the water and see some of the water gurgling out of the base. I don't think most people are going to be out in their yard spraying this thing with a water hose though. But the teardown for storage is actually pretty simple. And we're ready to put it up for storage. So that's it for my review of the Lutec 9000 Lumen work light. It's a heavy-duty, super bright light that does what it claims it will do. I think it's a good value for the money, especially if you can jump on the coupon code and save $30 before that expires on September 14th, 2020. And as always, there will be a link in the description below, and buying through that link will help out this channel. I'd like to thank my patrons who help me to produce these videos, and if you would like to help out on Patreon, there will be a link in the description below. Donations are appreciated, but never expected. The best way you can support my work is to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.